Paul and invite my scientists to come here, please. So we are Team 7, the Team Green Kangaroo, and we were thinking about what are the public transport commuters, okay? More like a train commuter, bus commuter that have to make some complex journeys throughout the days to get to work. And we focus mainly in two main big problem areas. The one is when you are waiting at a train station or a bus station, every time you wait, you're feeling a little bit stressed. So it's like, oh, I don't like this, but even when you even don't know how much you will have to wait, then you get really much more stressed. That's something that it's a common thing. And then when you get into the train, sometimes you get some really awkward delays, some problems. It's the line stops. When you commute, the other train just stops. So how can we help? The idea is join the Hopper problem and let us help you and let you help other people. The idea of the Hopper program is help and get help. Your mobile can be a source of information, real-time and non-real-time, and can be also a consumer of information, both real-time and non-real-time. How this could work? The idea is, okay, you are here at the train station. We can give you more information about these delays, and we can also give you some tips about what can you do at this point. We can give you more information about where you are, about historical information, maybe some good places, that kind of stuff that you can use to get some of this time. So perhaps you get a little bit stressed, or perhaps you even get a smile. And afterwards, when you are in the train, you can see how many minutes you got to get there, if there are some new delays. And even you can get this information before you get out home, because sometimes, in some days, you can even decide to work from home instead of getting on a, I don't know, 2-hour, that can become a 3-hour journey. So that is the idea of Hopper. Help and get help from your mobile, where you are, as long as you are. That's our main idea. Questions? Thoughts?
So I love your idea, and what I'm hoping you'll do as part of this is some sort of load balancing. Because when I used to try and commute to Canary Wharf, as soon as one service went down, everybody pours into another service and actually causes overcrowding on platforms. So if people are receiving recommendations for alternative ways to deal with the problem, can you load balance so that not everybody actually tries to go in the same way?
We didn't thought of that. We didn't think of that, but I think it's a very, very good idea. You know? Actually, we can help also. Yes, it's great to be able to recommend new routes and help also the public transport to be more efficient. Because the problem there is that all these kind of queues get the public transport inefficient all the time. So you can, even it's like using the best of all the resources you have for public transport. Good way.
So, really good idea. I'm just wondering, is it going to be completely user-generated content, or do you think there's a danger that advertisers push their content and it becomes a bit about how it could work?
Our main idea is to rely on the user-generated content, because at some point you probably rely more on information. It will be more trust information when it's something that is really happening now about the delays. But the problem is that what happens if we don't have that information? We haven't gathered that information. Then we can also try to connect with national train or the Transport for London or whatever source of information we can have. So we'll try to manage both, because we believe that the people information is the most trustable one, but probably we may need to access and aggregate all other information.
We did talk about validating user-generated content as well, so being able to vote things up and down.
Yeah, I think it's really powerful because it could work the other way around. At the moment, user-generated content, the content that's being generated by users will actually be used by like train companies to improve their services. For example, there's 2 trains that don't hop on the wrong line, right? The connecting one. You use that as an example when you're explaining this to me earlier on. So it's that kind of stuff that they can help change the way other companies that's providing the commuting services to improve, which is
good. Okay, guys. Can we go on to Team 8, please?
Well, welcome again. And this is one of the last presentations, so we'll try to be quick, because you will enjoy for sure the talk. So, let me remind you that this is the initiative that's joined the Hopper program. It is the idea of help and get help from other people while you are on travel and while you are commuting. We have worked basically by 2 personas profiles and in 2 journeys, and we'll go more or less over the 2 of them. So, let's start.
Okay, our first persona is for a new, inexperienced user. She's called Susan, she's 41, she's separated and has an 18-year-old daughter who's just left home to go to uni. She works as an administrator at the Bee, and she commutes by train from Milton Keynes to Euston, where she then connects to White City by tube. She's an active member of the local book club and really likes commuting because she gets to read this month's book on the train. She doesn't mind the odd delay because she gets to read more of the book, but she hates it when she misses a train or it's cancelled. She's really interested in using Hopper because a friend has told her it's an easy way to get useful and reliable travel information without having to access it from all sorts of different channels like rail companies and so forth. This is her user journey.
Right, that's she's just downloaded the app and she's opened it up, and she has to agree that she's going to allow it to access her information, so she has to just click on the yes. Because it's her first journey using Hopper, I've actually put commentary below Milton Keynes, never mind. There's a little thing there, it's accessing GPS information, it's finding out where she is. It knows that there's 2 transport links near where she is. And she chooses the rail station because she's going on a train, so she clicks on that. And because it's the first time she's done the journey, the application needs to find out what her normal commuting journey is. So using GPS and other information from other Hopper users around, it guesses that she's on the 8:15 train, and she just has to confirm that and confirm yes. And then somebody else on the train who's using Hopper, who's logged in, who's an expert user, says that the train's delayed by 15 minutes. It sends her that information, it sends everybody on the train that information. And it just says, is this correct or not? And she just has to click yes or no. And so she's involved straight away, rather than having to become an expert user before she gets involved. Just by being able to confirm the information, she feels that she's actually starting to contribute to the community already. So it draws her in straight away, and she doesn't need to be an expert user just to feel like she's starting to use the thing properly.
Our second persona is for an experienced expert user. Jazz is 23, single. He's a sales consultant for a sportswear manufacturer. He lives in Coventry and commutes to Stourbridge, which involves 2 trains with a 10-minute walk between stations in Birmingham. He plays football in 2 teams, a 5-a-side and a Sunday league. He works really hard to earn his money and enjoys spending it going out in pubs and clubs in Coventry. He's an expert user of the web, of his iPhone and social networks. On his journey, he likes to grab a coffee and some food and catches up with friends and makes plans for his nights out on Facebook. He really hates being delayed on his commute because he's fined for being late to work, and coming the other way eats into his drinking time. His motivation for using Hopper is to save time and avoid being delayed, and to save some money with food and drink deals. And he does this by sharing information with his fellow commuters. He's built a strong network of people he trusts, with whom he shares travel information and tips for deals on food and drink. So this is his user journey.
So Jazz usually wakes up in the morning, just goes to the Coventry train station. While he's going to the Coventry train station, what he wants to know is what is the status of his most common trains. So he opens the Hopper's application and he can see, sorry for the low fidelity, timing problem. And so he can see that the nearby places that he usually takes to the Coventry station, so he's selected. He can see there are some warnings and some comments there. If he clicks on the Coventry train station, then he can see the different trains he used to take. So the application just knows that you usually take the Birmingham line, the Birmingham New Street station, and then you can see the 756 train is delayed, the 803 is in time, and then the other one has been cancelled. You can see other routes, but this is the predefined one because it's the one he used to take. So he just presses also in the Birmingham news tube line he used to take, and he sees that the train has no coffee, so he has prepared for that because without caffeine, he cannot work. And he can say that it's delayed, and some people are saying that the train is getting a little bit slow. So, well, now he arrives at the station.
Running the time soon.
Oh, okay. He gets into the station. Now, while he's seeing this information, he can check out that while the train line says the Birmingham train is delayed, you can see in the application, because he trusts on the information, that the estimated arrival time is 8:06. He has a little bit more time, so he goes into the options of the station. He sees that he can see other kind of things like pressing the news. You can see that don't use the platform 2 toilets. Okay, they are too dirty. I go back, I press. How do I entertain myself? I can see there is a Costa coffee. Oh, I don't have enough caffeine, so I get into the Costa also, and I can see like a week-style place contrasted with all the services. This is all customer crowdsourced, so crowd-generated content, user-generated content. So the idea is trust more or less all the whole community. And at the end, what happened while he's in the train is that he can contribute also to this. He opens well, first he contributes because there are always silent GPS updates. Then he can see when opening this application, he can get into his train and his line. He can see that even there's no coffee, these are all the other options, and you can see that he can add a new comment that is, okay, this is too crowded. So now the people at the news station will see that this train is too crowded, he can wait to the other one. The idea is rely on the users, rely on the friends, and on the Hoppers community in order to see what the train and what the services will be like. We also have the part about some future users, but it's going to be more or less the basics.
Any questions? Any questions?
One other.
If the new person doesn't know whether the train is delayed, then maybe there should be.
Sorry?
If the new person, like, so when it says, you know, is it true that this train is delayed?
Mm-hmm.
Then you had only yes and no, and there was no, I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not paying attention.
We did also think about putting a sort of, if people feel it's really badly with the question, we could put like sort of I don't really care thing, and it would kind of leave them alone, because you wouldn't want to keep annoying people with those questions.
Okay. Thanks a lot.